Hey guys, welcome to the Daily Dose. It is Thursday, February 27th. Hope you're well. I'm going to be heading out for some travel. I wanted to get this in. A couple quarterbacks, some news about them coming out of the NFL Combine. I want to give you my thoughts. The first is Matthew Stafford, the great quarterback, many years with the Lions and the past few years with the Rams, where he's won a title. This is a guy that just continues to astound me by his toughness and ability to play so well at an advanced age. While we've seen decline from quarterbacks like Aaron Rodgers and Russell Wilson at similar ages, this guy just seems to keep getting better. Interesting that the Rams have allowed him to talk to other teams. The Rams have not engaged other teams about a trade, but Stafford has permission to talk to other teams. Here's what I think is going on there. It all comes down to follow the money, the business of sports. Stafford's scheduled to make $27 million this year. Now, that sounds like a lot of money, but it's paltry compared to a lot of quarterbacks making 45, 50 plus million dollars, including quarterbacks you'd never put in the same category as Matthew Stafford, such as Tua. So the question is, how much are they going to pay him? The Rams probably have heard from Stafford and his agent, like, we've got to bring him up to the market, maybe close to or at $50 million, and they balk at that. So maybe this is a compromise. I'm just speculating from my informed perspective. They're just letting him test the market and see what number is out there for him and from who. Maybe the number's closer to 40 million, maybe it's 50 million, and who. And then come back to the Rams, who would decide whether to match or get closer to that number for Stafford to stay there, which you would think he'd want to do rather than go somewhere else, or engage in trade negotiations with the other team. My sense is he'll stay, but at a bigger number. But the number won't be 50. So we'll see what happens. I just think, to be fair to the Rams, yes, he's only making $27 million, but a couple of years ago he signed a new extension that has a $60 million bonus. So people don't factor that in. That always frustrated me at the Packers when people said, well, your guy's only making $8 million and he's the 28th highest paid whatever cornerback. They don't factor in the big bonus he got a couple of years ago. Speaking of big bonus, Kirk Cousins. The Falcons said they're prepared to go forward with Kirk Cousins at that same number, $27 million that Stafford's making, but as a backup. He's been replaced by Michael Penix Jr., and my thought is, yeah, that makes sense. And yes, it sounds like an extraordinary number for a backup, but Kirk Cousins did a deal last year where the Falcons had to be thinking we're in for $90 million over two. If we replace him after two, fine, there's only $10 million left over in guarantee, which is $100 million total guarantee, but $90 million over two, 63.5 last year, 27.5 this year. They'd had to have thought they're paying that, even when they picked Michael Penix number 8 in the draft. And yeah, I don't think Cousins is going to get a better deal anywhere else, and I don't think Cousins will reduce his number. He's probably still a little steamed that after signing him to a big free agent deal 2 months later, less than 2 months later, they picked Penix number 8 overall. Penix has already replaced him. So I think he stays. And he continues to be, as you know, one of my leaders in the Business of Sports Hall of Fame. He'll add $27 million as a backup, unless Michael Penix gets hurt and he becomes the starter again. But he's one of those players at that age, like Wilson, like Rodgers, that's in decline. And Stafford is not. And Stafford will continue to make a lot of money. He's already the second highest career earnings player in the NFL behind Rodgers. But Rodgers is on the way out, and it looks like Stafford's got years left. So he will be the leader, and that may last a long time. All right, guys, have a great weekend. I'll talk to you sometime next week.